It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Colts, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with their opponents. Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, our visitors, they come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, it's Zach Wilson.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
They'll run for the first time with Michael Carter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Wilson. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try the left side with Carter. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll dump this off to Carter, complete. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback from the University of Houston. It's Kyle Allen.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
No,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Allen off the play fake. And it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He dumps this off to Mack. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
One of my own teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A give running right is Mack. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for because, you know, all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play. We're able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Here's Mack to get it again on 2nd down. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Allen. Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. They'll run with Mack. Shifts by at the 15. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. And it gives him a nice pickup. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the handoff, it's Mack. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he is going to have a Colts first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On the give, this is Mack. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. To throw, it's Allen. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
It's something about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Marlon Mack now heading back out there at his current pace. Sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then. Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4. A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways. In the snow. In the snow. Blizzards. Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him. Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game. And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Out of the gun, they run with Carter. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. On 3rd down, Wilson. Completes it to Davis. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Let's go. 3rd and long always tilts to the defense. And I just remember as a player how many times it was hammered into my head. Know where the sticks are and get him down in front of it. But sometimes what happens is you worry about where that is much more than the person who has the ball. And on that play, they didn't have enough focus on him. And somehow he turned a short pass into a 1st down. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A handoff for Carter. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Here's Wilson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. 6-0 our score after one. Second quarter now, it's Brooklyn in possession. Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete. The Colts on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That's into the hands of Pascal. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Colts send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. 35 yards that time on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down. Play action. Now Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Wilson. And this one's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Now Wilson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. DeForest Buckner racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. To throw is Wilson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. DeForest Buckner, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. This from 54 yards away. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a throw here, hauled in, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Mack. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting.
Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. John Franklin Myers, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this is a beauty as that ball is going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a toss running left is Mack. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Allen going to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think. And
he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
When they needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap and a give to Carter. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a give to Carter. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner, except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Here's Mack to get it again on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Colts send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. There for the sack, B.J. Hill. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And on now is the punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Almost out-kicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To throw on second and 10, Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Wilson. Throw right side complete to Carter. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
Allen's throw complete here on target to Tunyon. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Now it's Wilson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. On 3rd down, here's Carter. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis where the Colts
into the 2nd half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the 1st half.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen, they'll run the screen with Mack. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The Colts send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Carter. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. And here's Hofrichter now, the punter, as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Indy set to go on offense once more. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. From the 22, Allen going to take a shot for Gallup. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Wilson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
First down. It's Carter. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Wilson. They'll set up the screen to Carter. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful. And that strength was on display there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. They'll run with Carter. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Davis fumbles it, and the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Under pressure, they got him again. Quinnen Williams, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. There's Wilson. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's going to look deep for more. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It's a big play there on 3rd down. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And what was amazing to me was the fact he was able to get as much on the ball as he did because he was on the run. Normally, when you're on the move like that, you don't expect the ball to go that far. You would think you need your lower body to be involved. That was an all-arm throw.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carter down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Carter once more.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I'm trying to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
At the Colts 13-yard line.
They'll try the left side with Carter. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Another tote for Carter. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. 48 yards rushing now on 23 carries so far. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Carter. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Definitely not how you want to start things on 1st down, and you don't want to panic. A field goal could get you closer, but you have to think to yourself, we even get another shot. At this point, to me, the thinking has to be touchdown or bust.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Michael Carter, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Barons have moved out in front. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Michael Carter who finished it all off with a touchdown run. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. The Colts send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice gain. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Wilson to throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Now Wilson. And he's got it. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try to run for it with Carter. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Michael Carter, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Barons are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for only a couple. On 2nd down, a run with Carter. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. It's a big play there on 3rd down. But today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. He rifles complete. Caught by Moore. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door jarred, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. The Colts set to take over here offensively. They trail by 2 scores in the 4th, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Now time to see what this offense has left in the tank. They'll start on the ground with Mack, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. 6 yards left on 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Allen. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. On the handoff, it's Mack. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On the give, this is Mack. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now Allen. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun, here's Allen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 4 yards remain for 2nd down. Allen now looks to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Barker. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. On 1st down, Reeves. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Carter to start the drive. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Another run on 2nd down with Carter. Escaping a tackler at the 25. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 69 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On 1st down, Wilson. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Frank Reich not so sure about that last call. He's going to go ahead and throw out the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Another run on 2nd down with Carter. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. On 3rd down, Carter. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And on now is the punter as he's on here to punt it away. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it.
Let's go, fellas.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. A good throw here, finding Pascal. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
And that is incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. One final try here for Allen. Going up top. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. On 1st and 10, it's Carter. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Another run on 2nd down with Carter. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. They'll keep it on the ground. Carter, And he's got room. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2nd and 11 now. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 109 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.